back to Kansas. Just kidding. Welcome to the EDJ Whitetails. No, we're not in Kansas. We are in Iowa, but it feels like Kansas wind. I tell you what, it is blowing today. October 31st, Halloween. Today's the first day I took off work early. Went to the courthouse and voted. Everybody get out and do that. I'm headed in. I'm going to go to the food plot. We've got a very strong west wind. With that west wind, my scent should blow out across that open pond. We got about an inch of rain last night. That'll help me. I can get in there real quiet. I should be able to even look and make sure there's nothing on the food plot before I climb up in the stands. So follow along with me. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching another episode of the EDJ Whitetails. Alright, we're walking in, and with it being so windy, I went and I'm doing something I don't normally do. So I've already got the camera on the bow. I have an arrow nocked. I don't normally walk in with an arrow nocked, but with it being this windy, you never know what you never know. I mean, I could walk right up on something, and I want to be ready. That rain has actually got us a little more water in the creek too, so I'm gonna walk in with an arrow nocked, being safe about it, of course. And we're getting across this creek. We're gonna get in here quiet and silent and see what tonight has to offer. Halloween. It's always been historically a pretty good day for me to hunt. Last year it was a complete debacle. It was really a lot of blunders. If you want to go back and look at a total fail evening hunt, but we're gonna make sure that don't happen tonight. So stay tuned. So on these windy days like this, especially when it's quiet because of that rain, being really careful, almost kind of still hunting my way, just in case. Especially on the way to this food plot stand, because I walked through some actually pretty thick stuff to get there. So far I haven't seen nothing, but which I don't want to really come across a deer on the way in, but if by some chance we're ready. Alright, so far so good getting in here. I actually contemplated sitting in Delana's blind just because it's so windy, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I want to be able to see good, so I don't want to just watch what's out front. I haven't been in here since Sunday morning, and that was at the south end of the farm, so I want to get a good surveillance eye on what's happening, what's not happening. So almost to the stand. I'll see you up there. It's amazing what an inch of rain will do, especially to a river bottom pond like that. If you remember from last weekend's videos, that was a little puddle that a heron was feeding on what was left of minnows in there. Now there's a fair amount of water in there, so I'm in the stand. Wind is still blowing like crazy. As you saw when I come in the lane, there was a tree down over the lane. I'll bring the chainsaw with me this weekend and clean that up on one of my ways out of the stand. Nothing on the food plot as I got in here, which is good. I'm curious how well movement will be tonight with this high wind. Still, this low pressure blowing out of here. High pressure is going to move in tomorrow. It's only going to be like a high of 53. It's like 40 degrees right now. And I've seen in bad weather situations over the years where this really gets them bucks moving, especially when you're on the cusp of November. So I'm going to settle in here for a little bit, and hopefully we'll bring you some action on October 31st, Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. Bring you some action. No more than I set the camera down from that opening from the stand, I turn around and there's a doe down there at the bottom, so I think we'll have some good movement tonight. Yeah, now I kind of lost her. I wonder if there's anything behind her. We'll find out. Another one right behind her. So far away, I mean, that's 150 yards down there. It's really kind of hard to tell if it's a small buck or a doe, but I see it working its way. We'll see if something moves this way. Those actually came out of the west thicket. Honestly, I'm going to say that's probably the first time this season I've seen one come out of the west thicket, so it's a good sign too. So that's deer number 4 that has popped out down out of that same end of the west thicket there, and they're headed to the east. I'm sure they're just kind of wandering around, but I had one in between that one that popped out just like a little guy, like a little button buck or doe, a little fawn doe. So we're good and settled in now, and I'm absolutely loving the fact that that rain gave that a little green boost out there to that final forage, and honestly what's left of the Clover Plus. So still a little bit in there, but they have really mowed it down. So that's 4 deer already. We've only been on stand about 10 minutes, so that's not too bad at all. But I think the wind chill has dipped below 32 now, so got my Nomad base layers and everything on, so no worries there. We'll stay plenty warm, but I think it's going to be a good evening. can't imagine. Yeah, there's I think it's a mama and her two fawns. She's a big one. That's interesting. It looks to me like she's trying to run those yearlings off, which is a sure sign of her getting ready to come into estrus. So that's interesting. I've seen her nudge him hard a couple times. So it's fixing to kick off pretty soon. So it keeps going in and out of focus there, but she's just kind of tucked herself in behind that dead wall and basically just sitting there chewing her cud. So the two yearlings that worked, they may end up under me here pretty shortly. So that's deer tally of 7 since I've been in here. I've only been in here about an hour. So not too bad. Problem is, I gotta keep my eyes. She's off to the northeast. I gotta keep my eyes south and stuff too. So, and you can't hear nothing coming. So it'd be interesting. But she's a big doe, and it looks like she don't want nothing to do with them yearlings. So she's probably getting close. That's deer number 9. On the evening, he just come out of the west thicket. I think it's a little buck. It's very interesting this evening. The wind has these deer so stirred up and skittish. Like he was fine, and then he got to the opening and he just darted across, stopped at that bush, and then went over to the radish plot over there. So be interesting to see if he comes up this way. But it's been a pretty cool evening so far. Just interesting how they're acting with this wind. The wind has not laid down hardly at all. It's probably a steady 30 with a bigger gust every now and then in there. So we're not done yet. Got about a half hour to go, maybe 45 minutes. So it's encouraging. was the little buck that crossed just a little while ago. He come up through the east thicket, and as you see, hopefully the microphone picked it up. He was grunting the whole way. He was feeling it, but got about 2 inches of antler. But he's roaming and searching. Real bull in the woods there. Well, as you can see, it's winding down. Got about 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so of legal left, but getting low on camera light. As I've said a few times, it's been a really interesting evening for this Halloween hunt. As I promised in the beginning, it's better than last year's Halloween hunt. Last year's Halloween hunt was a complete blunder, but just spooking deer getting in and the whole works. But if you want to rewind a year, you can watch that video, but not one of my favorites. Interesting sit tonight though too. Also, they really never came onto the food plot. When I left you after that little buck, it's getting to be that time of the evening where everything starts to look like a deer. It wasn't. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. When I left you with that little buck earlier, I had 2 more deer to the north that I couldn't get on camera. It was just too thick through the trees. I mean, I could have got the motions moving, but the focus wouldn't come in, and I just didn't record it. So 11 different deer in total tonight. Just one of them, that little buck. I don't know what those, exactly what those 4 were at the start, but we got plenty of does in here. Oh, speak of the devil. I'm going to say those 4 down there were the 4 that came across right at the start today, so I'm not going to count those. I think we're at 11. That's that's too much of a coincidence right there. That's 4 all coming across that just a little bit above where they came across earlier. So as you can see, it's still a crow fest, but I'm dealing with it, kind of tuning it out anymore. But all told, good Halloween evening. 11 different deer sighted. It's only going to get better from here. Finally got a little bit of moisture. Can get around a little bit better. I'll be leaving work early every day now until I either have my boss completely mad at me or we get an arrow and a nice buck. So thanks for watching the Edge Outdoor. Dang it, the Edge Whitetails, and hit that subscribe button. We're 1 away from 300. If you just give us that 300, you don't even ever have to come back and watch again. Just get us to that 300. That'd be pretty cool. So anyway, for the Edge Whitetails, I'm Eric Johnston. Keep watching. We're going to have one pretty much every day now. And until next time, get outdoors. That'll make a baker's dozen right there. 13.